They want more.
Yes.
And I don't know if are you already recording?
I think so.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you notice in the room, but the best feeling of Inside Flow is when you see a group of people went from being so reserved and like really focus on their own self to just open up to the community and smiling and playing and being, you know, a bit playful.
It was so cool. It was so playful, and I was actually glad I was in the front of the beginning. I don't want to be in the front, but then again, I didn't get distracted. So it was cool to follow you and to listen to you. I'm kind of used to that, but then again, it was some ago. So hi.
We're already talking.
We're already talking. So I really want to thank you for coming here.
Of course.
And it was so cool, and it means a lot to me. And I am so happy with the shala too.
Yeah.
And I hope you liked it too. So just before all the thanking, I would like to explain for the Inside Flow, because the experience, you have to experience the Inside Flow, the flow. And I have been doing yoga for some quite time and stopped because yada yada, you know. And today was like a really, it was like a relief, because this was my dream to have the studio, and the relief for me was like, wow, I'm doing this kind of yoga without kind of being yoga, to the music, to the flow, and not to be so strict. It was very open up. So explain a little bit more. So just like you did before.
So Inside Flow, I think you kind of summarized it really well. You have to experience it. There's something about this aha moment at the end of the class when everything fits together.
Yeah.
And for me, there's something so magical about it. Because when you come here, you enter a place, you have no idea what we're gonna do. And you know, half moon, or any simple movement like open up the arms or just forward fold, it feels completely different to what you were doing before, like in the flow, in different flow. And I think that's the flow state that Inside Flow really wants to capture, and it really shines through during the class.
Right.
So Inside Flow is an evolution of Vinyasa, in the sense that we synchronize our movement with our breath. We inhale, we expand, we exhale, we contract. And that's kind of what it is the whole class. You breathe and you use that and extend that to your movement, to your physical movement, your arms and your legs. And what is so special about Inside Flow is, well, you do it to the music.
Right.
So you don't think about how long it has been. Sometimes you're here, look, 45 minutes over, 2 hours is over. Oh, I want more. That's exactly what you just said. Because you're not there huffing and puffing. It's like, oh my God, when is it gonna be over? You're just enjoying yourself. And I think, biased opinion, the most fun type of yoga. It's the most fun yoga class you can ever experience.
It felt kind of like we at some point, some moments was like, oh, I'm dancing now, but then now it's yoga. So when you're dancing, you get the kind of experience, or the joy. When you dance, you're always happy, right? But then I noticed you said like, you're not breathing. I cannot hear the breathing. So so my questions to you is, what kind of breathing do you use? Because I'm used to Ashtanga, right? And I do a lot of martial arts, so we breathe in a different way. And in Ashtanga, you breathe like a fire breather, or whatever they call it. Ujjayi breathing, So what kind of breathing do you prefer?
Same thing.
The same thing,
Same thing. And I think that's something that you come, just like when you're learning something new.
Right.
Your brain fixate on the most immediate stuff. Like, where are my arms, where are my legs? You know, when you go to yoga class, the first time you do Ashtanga, you don't think about the breathing. You're like, where does my legs go? Where's my arm? I'm gonna hold here. It's exactly the same thing. And once you kind of get more comfortable, now you can bring in the breathing, which will make the practice all the difference.
Right.
So there's always a progression in things. You can do the same flow for months or weeks, and you will see the progression.
Right.
I mean, you should see the first time I did Inside Flow. Like, I have a video of that, and every now and then I like to go back and look. And just like, oh, I thought I was like doing well, you know, first time. Oof, I might put it up on internet at some point.
One day.
One day when I feel like, you know what,
Yeah.
this is, people need to see that.
Exactly.
Don't be discouraged. Just like anything in life, you try something new. It's a bit of challenge, and also for inside flow, it's not just a challenge to your body or your breath, or it's more for your brain as well.
Exactly.
Because you're working your brain.
Right.
And it's another muscle that you need to train.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So you get, for me, this is the best of all the worlds. And you mentioned dance as well. Yeah, you get the joy of dance. The difference is that since we follow the principle of yoga practice,
Yes.
it's symmetrical. So
Right.
dance, you connect to the beat only, right? Like sometimes you will hop on this leg and then the other leg you do something else.
Exactly.
We want symmetry.
Yeah.
And that's what inside the biggest difference.
Cool.
So it's really even. Yeah.
Cool. There's one more thing I noticed. I said I mentioned the dance with the joy of dance.
Yeah.
But then there was a moment that I felt that's for all the martial artists, right? So I felt that yes, I noticed like a little bit of kung fu, but then karate, and that's why I love yoga, because it's like I wrote some quote. It's like yoga is like a slow karate, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I can see that.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And then the motion I got this like a flow like in the martial arts, like a qigong with tai chi, and even the mix of all the movements in martial arts.
Yeah.
So I was like, the joy came from the music, and then oh yes, it's a martial arts. I'm doing the martial arts, right? With yoga, so that was like a big plus for me. So it was like the next level of joy that I felt even more with doing this actually.
I'm so happy you brought that up, because I mentioned that it's an evolution, which means that it's not constricting ourselves to this is how you do sun salutation and that's it. No more, no less.
Yeah.
We bring in everything. Inside flow invites all kind of movements, and every now and then there's new movements added all the time. And if you've been if you come from a dancing background, you're gonna recognize some names. Develop the mini attitude, rainbow, that is very much martial arts. What else? Yeah, it's you're
it's
gonna
all
get surprised.
it's the flow to following the line with the opposite side or the side of the legs. You know, when we go back and we open up, it's just like in the martial arts.
Yeah.
So and especially karate, because I teach a lot of karate, and it's always like the line here, the leg here, and sometimes you flow and you know, I'm just talking because I'm very excited, right, about this.
No,
I
really like the reaction, and I feel that in because this room, the session that we just had, we had a room of mixed experience when it comes to movements, not just yoga, and I could see that different people connect to different aspects of inside flow, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to have practiced yogas for years to enjoy it. You don't have to have been a dancer or a music lover or whatever.
Right.
There's always going to be something in inside flow that you're going to fall in love. And I think that's what is the most interesting part for me. That really connects everyone.
And for you to know today, the kind of people were here from some who were the members of this community, Taiso community. So the fun thing was that you had like two martial artists, one experienced, and two martial artists, one surfer guy, and you had like one ashtangi, and you had some like have done never yoga before, and she was like, which way is it, upside down on the mat or this? And I was like, just put it on the floor, like. But so the mix of people today, and a CrossFitter too. So it was like. It was fun, just so you know that. It was like, you were totally beginners to that, but the mix was like a beginner, ashtangi, someone else, something else, a surfer, a martial artist, you know, and a CrossFitter. It was so cool, so I like the mix of the people and everyone.
And I think there's something, just like any movement, right, especially like yoga class, there's a modification, there's a progression, there's a variations to the same movement that does the same thing. So, and that's why it's inside flow is exactly the same. So you don't have to go so deep if you have something, you don't want to go so deep. Maybe you've been running a marathon